Hello, hello. What is up, Chicago Cubs fans? Victorious Chicago Cubs fans are we. My name is Tommy. That is Nick. We are Cubs on Tap, part of the On Tap Sports Network. The Cubs are back to winning baseball games, and we could not be more grateful. Nick, we're on a 2-game winning streak.
Yeah, yep. We're going for 10, Tommy. We're going for 10. The vibes are back. Momentum is moving in the right direction. We're ready to put that behind us. Winning Cubs baseball again feels so good.
Feels so good. Cubs win. Holy cow, says Darren. Make sure you're following us in the chat. If you're listening to this, just hop in the chat and talk it up with us. We're gonna have a lot of talking points and want to hear everybody's opinions on what's going on. But yeah, Cubs are victorious. We did the whole thing. We won. We're back to a 2-game winning streak. Why stop at 10? Go to 30. See what happens.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean
Why stop?
Yeah, why stop? So we had Tyler, our very own Tyler, back-to-back games. He was there last night. He was there tonight. He might have to go to his favorite place in the world, St. Louis, if we're gonna keep winning ball games, right?
I think gonna have to go. I think we're gonna have to bankroll him to every.
Is that
season? Yeah.
Is that in the budget? Can we get him to St. Louis somehow?
I think we're gonna have to figure it out somehow because when he's there, things just go well.
Yeah, the Cubs seem to be winning baseball games. People are starting to hit the ball. There's runs being scored in bunches. This is kind of starting to have the glimpse of the team that we thought we were getting when we were going 20-3 in 23 games. Just like that, after being in last place for a day or so, the Cubs are now in second place in the division. We're back on track, in control of a wild card spot, but still 4 games behind the Brewers, who again swept us a couple weeks ago.
And swept the Cardinals.
Yep, swept the Cardinals. We got some work to do, boys and girls, but we are headed in the right direction. While we're beginning this show, first off, we want to shout out our friends at Obvious Shirts. Joe is a good friend of ours. We are both rocking Obvious shirts right now. I ride with PCA, who we're going to talk about tonight, because imagine giving up on Pete Crow-Armstrong. I'm allergic to St. Louis. That's pretty self-explanatory. These are shirts by Cubs fans for Cubs fans, and they're obviously fantastic. So if you see up in the corner here, there's a QR code. You are welcome to kind of put your phone on that. It'll take you straight to Obvious Shirts. Pick out your favorite shirt, go to checkout, and then put On Tap Sports into the coupon code spot. You get 10% off the order, just like that. So shout out Obvious Shirts. We appreciate their help with stuff. And then On Tap Sports Network, just go read some blogs and like and subscribe to the YouTubes and stuff. That's where you can find us. But enough about us. By God, the Chicago Cubs have won 2 games in a row, like we said. Like Scott from Iowa is saying here, I didn't have Ray out pitching Skeens on my end of the world calendar. Was not on my bingo card either. But hey, early in the game, Colin Ray, he got a couple guys on base, but he never wavered and continued to get outs, and the offense put up enough runs to secure it. And we have a starting pitcher with a win for the first time since May 7th. So what are your thoughts on tonight? Just in general, how are you feeling now that the 10-game streak is out of our way and we're moving forward?
Yeah, I feel good to put that behind us. That was awful. I think every Cubs fan can agree that was awful. It's been night and day, honestly, versus when they broke the streak last night to today. They've really been able to string some hits together, string some runs together. The power seems to be back for multiple guys. This is just what you wanted to see out of this baseball team. And obviously, we always talk about it. It's 162 games. You're going to have bad stretches. What they need to do is find their consistent groove where they're just consistently a good baseball team and they don't fall into those traps that they fell into, because during that stretch, we saw poor plate discipline. We saw errors. We saw uncharacteristic Cubs baseball, and it was weird. It was, honestly, that's the good way to put it, is weird. So it's good to see that they've kind of turned the corner here. I definitely am comfortable saying that they've turned the corner. And then tonight, like, you get that performance from Ray against Skeens. That was a big boy start, and we've said it time and time again this year. Ray is not the guy
Yeah.
you had on paper that you'd be putting against Skeens when you started the year. You probably would have said, "Oh, I'd love to see Horton go against them."
Yeah.
Even Boyd, right? So, like, and he wasn't supposed to be that guy. He's been the guy to get you out of these situations for a while now, and he gives you good pitching performance every once in a while. He gives you gems, so you can't frown on that at all. He's been nothing but, short of spectacular in the sense of what we need him to do. So
Absolutely. Yeah. Colin Ray, 5.1 innings, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts. He did give up the 1 home run, which is kind of on par for Cubs pitching lately, but whatever. Yeah. So we got that from Colin Ray. We talked about some of the injuries that the Cubs have faced. Like, Ben Brown has been the ace of the rotation, and he's Ben Brown. Like, he wasn't even supposed to be in the rotation, and here we are. So guys stepping up when they need to step up for the team. Ben Brown was not the beneficiary of getting offense behind him.
Just rude what they did.
Yeah. Hopefully that is a situation that is being fixed, because, as Scott from Iowa is alluding to, shout out Scott. Thanks for hanging out with us almost every single show. Like, it's so much fun knowing that we're going to get some comments from Scott, and we'd love for everybody to chime in too. So but be nice to us. We only put the nice ones on. So
no, go ahead. Do whatever you want.
All right. That's fine. Yeah. Ian Happ hitting in Pittsburgh is better than a fully roided Barry Bonds. And he's not wrong. Ian Happ is incredible in Pittsburgh. It's his hometown. And I'd like to share something about Ian Happ. In the last week, he's batting .304.
Yep.
What are the haters going to say now?
Where are the Ian Happ haters now?
Yeah. OPS of 985, 2 dingers, 8 RBIs, both home runs back-to-back nights against Pittsburgh. This is the Ian Happ that you want to see going into St. Louis. He has been a guy that we can count on to give us a performance against our division foes, especially Cincinnati and Pittsburgh. Would love to see some of that roll over into St. Louis. Yep. But yeah, Ian Happ, 2 home runs, 2 convincing home runs at that. What was he, 4 for 5 last night? And then tonight he had himself a night. So maybe we're seeing the turnaround from Ian Happ here. Yeah,
no, I definitely think we are. And he's been good throughout the year already. And the Ian Happ slander to me is it's honestly ridiculous, because he always starts out slow. This year, he really didn't. He's been one of your consistent guys early on. He fell into a slump like everyone else during that 10-game losing streak.
Right.
And it seems like he's coming out of that for sure. But, man, when he hits the ball, he hits it very hard. He's got a great eye at the plate. His on-base percentage is always up there. He's the guy that you want in the lineup to keep the line moving.
Right.
He's not a black hole that everyone describes him as. Like, learn baseball. I'm sorry, I get it. Fan how you want to fan, but understand the fact that there aren't guys that are going to give you home runs every time or doubles or triples. He is very big in the fact that he gets on base. That's why we like him. He gets on base. Yeah. So, yeah, he's turning it around in the power field as well. So I think he's one of those guys that can really tip the scale in the Cubs' direction, especially in the St. Louis series coming up. You need a guy that's going to kind of put you on the back and get that fire under the team, and then everyone starts to just – it's like a machine, So someone's got to be that spark, and he can be that guy.
Yeah, it would be very convenient if he was the guy, especially because, when the team is down, if everybody, like we saw over the past couple weeks, if everybody is down and not hitting the ball well, the first person people attack is Ian Happ. What about when everybody starts hitting the ball? Can the first person that we praise be Ian Happ? Because he's the one that's leading the charge. Quite frankly, he's the one that got us out of the funk last night. Going 4 for 5 and a dinger and a bajillion RBIs. Like, he has 8 RBIs in the past 7 days. The majority of those, if not all of them, are from the past 2 nights. So it's like he's the one that kind of got us out of that. But along the lines of on base percentage, we need to have a conversation about Pete Crow-Armstrong. Pete Crow-Armstrong is having fantastic big league at bats over the last week or so. I saw a tweet that somebody put out that showed a lot his at bats over the weekend and then going into the Pittsburgh series. All of his outs were above 97 miles per hour off the bat, if not over 100. And then he had like 4 or 5 walks, and he's looking at pitches. He's taking pitches, learning the strike zone, and these at bats are like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pitches long, and he's seeing what the pitcher is giving him, and he's learning something in that first at bat that he can go back to on his second at bat, and we're seeing him take advantage of that. His on base percentage in the past 7 days, 406. That's a good number. That is a number I would like to see more of. I don't know about anybody else, but Pete Crow-Armstrong back on track. Ian Happ back on track. Are the Cubs back on track now? I'm going to say yes, because I'm biased. But Scott says Skeen's career against the Cubs, 39 innings, 53 Ks, 20 walks, and a record of 2-3 and 8 starts. Are the Cubs Skeen's killers?
I'll tell you why that is that fact. They make Skeens work every single time. They make him work. They have a good formula against Skeens where they don't just let him blow him away. They make him work. They look for their pitches and they execute at the right times. The other thing that helps is having a dog shit defense behind Skeens.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I mean,
we were the benefits of that, which is fun because over the last couple of weeks, we have been that has killed us. Now we are the beneficiary of some bad defense. So that feels good.
Yes. That's the fun part about baseball. You go back and forth, but yeah, the Pirates definitely struggle, and tonight was no different there. The real thing that I saw that was different was their plate approach. They really, and I think it's when you play a guy like Skeens, you can't go up there and have poor plate appearances because you have to take advantage of every single pitch and opportunity that he gives you and rack up the pitches. Just look for that moment, put him on the ropes a little bit where he's down. It's a hitter's count and you're looking for that fastball. And a few times, they really executed well, and that was the big difference tonight. And obviously, I opened it up later in the game, but that was after Skeens came out. And that's what you have to do when you play Paul Skeens. You have to work to get to that bullpen, and then you start to really attack. You survive, and then you attack. That's right. Just what you have to do against a guy like Skeens.
Yeah, they made him throw some pitches, and he had the strikeouts working early, but then everybody got a little bit of a confidence in them, started to swing the bat a little bit, put pressure on that defense. It faltered. Skeens faltered. Skeens, I won't say he faltered. He had to be removed from the game, and then the bullpen faltered. Like that's what you need to do, and maybe that's something that the Cubs can start consistently doing. Get after these starters early to get to bullpens that often falter unless you're the Braves, who don't have a bad pitcher ever.
Braves are a totally different story.
Yeah. Another streaky guy that we need to talk about too, and we talked about him a little bit in the pre-show. Alex Bregman is now 8 straight games with a hit, I'm pretty sure I heard. So man, if Alex Bregman is starting to get that turnaround that we paid for going into St. Louis and then coming back home for the A's and the Giants, man, wouldn't that be nice if we had Alex Bregman starting to heat up as well?
It'd be awesome. Yeah.
This is what we're talking about. Like these guys, yes, they were all not hitting at the same time, but what if they
What if
swing
they
back at the
do?
same time, you know?
Yeah,
So
exactly.
yeah, I know that it was very frustrating during the losing streak. Everybody was frustrated. Nobody was happy about the situation. We somehow tie the series with the Pirates. This is the first series we had not lost since we swept the Reds at home at the beginning of the month. Like it feels good to at least get a split. Now let's go win a series in St. Louis, right? Like this is a perfect opportunity. The Cardinals are right on our heels, and we have the opportunity to kind of bury them a little bit as we continue forward. So
correct.
yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say when
Yeah.
you take a 100-foot view of a 4-game series
Yeah.
away, a split is okay.
Yeah.
Obviously, it feels kind of bad right now because you just came off a 10-game losing streak, but this is moving in the right direction. And tonight was the hardest game of them all. On paper, you looked at this on Monday and you went, well, Thursday is the Skeens day, and that's the day that you got to be really in a good position, and they weren't. They would have, lost the series today. So kudos to them for kind of picking it up, not falling back to their old habits during that 10-game losing streak, and to keep building on what they did yesterday. So,
Right.
like you said, I mean, on to St. Louis. And real quick, Bregman is my pick to click. Like, he's my guy. I just want to see a different Bregman. I want to see something flip for him. I was a guy that was banging the drum for Bregman before he was even, thought. And a couple guys here thought no, it will never happen. And I was like, no, Bregman is a really good Cub fit. And so far it hasn't been as exciting as I thought it would have been, but it's still early per se. And he can definitely turn it on. You've seen it, like you said, you pointed it out. He's starting to really, you can see signs that things are about to flip. And if he can just turn it on, he's a guy that will bring the personality as well.
I agree with that. With that for sure. Coming up in St. Louis, we have Imanaga showing, or he's going to be pitching on Friday. Ben Brown back at it on Saturday. Ben Brown 1-2 record, a 2 ERA. That's just not fair.
Ace stuff.
Yeah, and then Jordan Wicks on Sunday. Let's just bow our heads and pray and see what happens there. So, I think I feel confident in saying the Cubs need to win this series in St. Louis. They have to go
the first two.
You got to go 2 of 3 here. You just got.
That's not looking great. But
yeah.
You're right.
You can't just get back to splitting the series and then drop a series to the Cardinals like that. You would lose all momentum that you had, and we're back to square one. We're going to lose some people again. I don't want to do that. I want everybody to keep moving forward together. So we need to win this series in St. Louis. I mean, that's where the Cubs are. I enjoy the days that we get to do a show like right after the game ends like this, because everything is kind of fresh on our minds from the night that we just watched. And it feels good. 2-game winning streak going into St. Louis. Can't ask for much more than that, especially after you just lost 10. So.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you're poised to really start to dig in this division and, maybe get to second place again. Because right now you're not even in second place, third place. But if you can win the series against the Cardinals, then you kind of get a step up on them. You're behind Milwaukee. You're right there. Just keep playing consistently good baseball. And things will start to work. Now they do, when is it? They have like a stretch of games that one would say are it's a trap to look at. But if you look at it, they do play like the Giants, the Rockies, and then the Giants and the Rockies. Or am I wrong?
Yeah, it is very similar to that. I'm pulling it up right now. So after St. Louis, we're at home. We get the A's and then the Giants. And then we go to Colorado, go to San Francisco, and then come back to face Colorado.
Yeah.
So
June could be a really good month if you go into it. not with a chip on your shoulder, but expecting, to be just a good, consistent baseball.
Yeah. How many times, like in our Cubs fandom history, have we said, beat the teams you're supposed to beat? Here's a whole string of them. Go do it. So,
It's a trap.
Right. Yeah. We'll have more St. Louis talk at the end of the show, like we always do. But for a while now, we need to talk about baseball as a whole.
Yes.
We have had a situation of brewing for a couple years now. Yes. We've known the fate. We've tried to ignore the fate and just enjoy baseball. That time is no longer here. It is not panic time per se, but it's time to realistically look at the fact that we should just enjoy baseball for a while, because it may not be here for much longer past this season, at least as we know it, and for a while.
Right? Yeah.
Yes. So on Wednesday, the Major League Baseball Players Association made an initial proposal to create a new collective bargaining agreement for baseball between the players and the owners. Their proposal included basically a salary floor, higher minimum salaries for players, and more revenue sharing, basically telling the owners, you have all of this money and you're either choosing to not spend it, like say the Pirates or teams like that, or the Rockies, bottom feeders like that, or you're just obscenely spending a lot, like the Dodgers and the Yankees and the high, and there's too much of a disparity between the bottom and the top. So they have asked for a salary floor to make sure teams are spending and trying to compete. This is just a very basic rundown of what's going on. We have so much time to get more in depth. I just want to get people with their toes in the water getting ready for this battle.
Yeah, because it's going to be a long string.
So that's the player stance. Owners, you have all of this money, share it with us, is where they are, and pay us more and compete better. Like, that's where we're at.
Yeah.
The owners came immediately back at them yesterday and said, thank you for your offer. Absolutely not. So then today, the owners came up with their version of a proposal, which, quite honestly, I'll say it shocked me a little bit, because they agreed to a salary floor, and they agreed to share revenue 50-50 with the players, which is nowhere near where I thought they were going to go.
Yeah, I thought they'd be farther.
However, things went downhill when they kept reading, because then they said, oh yeah, your least favorite words, salary cap. This is the first time since 1994 that the owners have suggested a salary cap for the next collective bargaining agreement. Of course, the last time it happened, we stopped the season midway. Shout out the Montreal Expos and Chicago White Sox fans, because you were on a collision course for the World Series in 1994 and you never saw it happen. So my condolences. But they're wanting to do a salary cap. It was not a big salary cap either. And the players immediately fired back and said, thanks for the whole revenue thing, but we've already told you we are not doing a salary cap. So this offer means nothing to us. Here we go, folks. It is going to be a long ass dime of back and forth like this.
Yep.
Billionaires versus millionaires, and the common man's going to be the loser. So just prepare yourselves for it.
It's a great way to put it. Yeah. I would just say to all the fans to enjoy every moment of baseball that we have right now. You just don't know with this. You're watching it. It's a kid's game. It's a kid's sport. But behind the scenes, there are billions of dollars. There's so much going on. And we've seen it. We've seen the owners that are greedy. We've seen the owners that, care about the product on the field. There's a big difference, and there's a big gap. And rightfully so, the players are trying to put a more competitive product, for the fans, where you don't have like teams tanking and just, being a team for the sake for the owner.
Right.
Well, at the same time, the owners are going to turn around and go, well, if you want this, then you're going to have to give us that.
Yes, there's going to have to be some sort of a give and take situation happening.
And I don't know where they're going to meet in the middle.
Nobody wants to give and or take, or nobody wants to give. Everybody wants to take. By the way, I don't know what my camera's doing. If you're sorry for the podcast listeners, but sometimes I'm turning yellow and I don't understand it. Anyways, maybe I'm getting yellow in the face because I'm just starting to get sick because this is going to take baseball away. Just let's set our expectations realistically here. Kiss 2027 goodbye. Just go into it thinking I will not be watching baseball in 2027.
I really hope.
And for Cubs fans, that means no All-Star game at Wrigley Field. So just accept that and move on, because maybe you'll be pleasantly surprised and you get baseball in 2027. But if you set your expectations that you're not going to get baseball, then it's not going to hurt as bad. Trust me, I'm a Bears fan. I've been doing this for my whole life.
This is what you have to do. Like
Darren says baseball is like the music industry. Enjoy the song because the business end is brutal. That very true.
Put. Yeah.
Yes. Write a novel, Darren. Write a novel.
Great. I really
the players argument is a salary cap is going to limit the amount that they're able to make in their career. And they're absolutely correct about that.
Well, yeah.
The owners say with the salary cap is saying that's how we get to show, or that's how our front offices get to show that they are worth being in the front office. Like our employees are actually good at their job, because it weans out who's good at building a team on the same playing field and who's bad at it.
Unbelievable.
It's
I'm if you can already tell, I'm on the players side, which is, it boils down to this, like the owners, they're billionaires, right?
Yeah.
Like you said, it's the billionaires versus the millionaires. And the players make a lot of money, and you can argue that maybe they make more than what they should. Well, then look at what the owners are making, owning the baseball team and having the franchise and having all the merch rights and the marketing and the TV, the broadcast, all of that.
Yeah.
And then you go, oh, wait, the players aren't even making as much as I think they should be making at this point. When you look
we're looking at billions and billions of dollars of an industry here, which is hard to comprehend for the common man. But and I'm trying to see it on both sides. I obviously want the players to get paid, and I don't want a salary cap. I don't think a salary cap fixes anything. I think the real issue is that Major League Baseball as a whole, every one of the 30 teams needs the other 29 teams to succeed. And I think that the teams and the ownership side should be doing a better job of sharing that revenue with each other to an extent. I'm not saying like the New York Yankees should basically be paying for the Colorado Rockies to be a franchise. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that to an extent, there should be some sort of a cash flow that is being shared amongst them, because they need each other. They want this league to succeed, and they just need to be better about working together to make sure that there is an even playing field, but you're not limiting the amount of money that other people can earn, like your players. The players should not be punished for this because you guys aren't sharing. Like what the Dodgers can go pay for whoever they want, and the Marlins can cry poor. Realistically speaking, I'm sorry, if you own a team, if you own a Major League Baseball team, there are funds there to go get whatever player you want. I'll die on that hill.
Well, here's the thing. All right, so I'm going to play a little bit of the devil's advocate here just because it's fun, and I also want to get your opinion on this. Right?
Okay, I love
the Dodgers. You have your Dodgers, which are a huge conglomerate. It's just crazy big, right? They make what, $700 million in revenue a year, just easy number.
Yep.
And then you have your Marlins who make like 350 million in revenue every year. So
Yeah.
what do you do if you are going to try to put a salary floor or cap to equal out such a big difference in revenue versus like what they spend in payroll?
So it's interesting that you brought up the Marlins, because I was watching a little bit of MLB Network earlier today, and I can't remember the guy's name, but he was in the front office for the Marlins in the early 2000s when they won the World Series. And they said that they won the World Series, but then they couldn't pay Pudge his money. So that's why he went to Detroit, and that's why the team fell apart, is because they couldn't pay him. I'm sorry. I just can't buy that, because when your team was good, you were putting butts in seats and people were going to watch the games, and then you won the World Series. Of course, the Marlins, and then they said that they tried to do the whole spend big thing in 2012. Remember, with their huge rebrand, Ozzie Guillen becomes the manager, Mark Burley's the ace of the rotation. It was like, yeah, you spent big, but you spent it on old, washed up guys. Like, and you were expecting to change the whole scene. Like, that's just you paid the wrong guys. I'm sorry. I don't remember where we were going with this. I'm so sorry. I'm just so fed up.
No, I know. I was just saying the difference with
oh yeah. So the Dodgers make 700 million or whatever, and the Marlins don't. My argument is that if they were more consistent about putting a better product on the field, then they could probably pay players more.
I get what you're saying, but
we're seeing teams like the Arizona Diamondbacks, for example. They were just in the World Series a couple years ago, but they're not going out and like making any flashy signings or anything, are they? Like, they're just
no. But they did spend a lot of payroll versus revenue.
Sure.
Like, if you look at the whole, like, because there was that chart that came out about revenue versus payroll. There are teams that like they do spend a good amount of their revenue.
The Mets are like 85%.
They're crazy. Yeah, they're like almost 90. Now they're probably 85, but yeah, they're almost 90%. And I mean, if you look at the Cubs, they're like 40%. And we've complained about that before too, right? I mean, we want it all. But my thing is, who are we to stop the Dodgers from spending the entire Marlins payroll or revenue on their payroll?
Right. Yeah. But so that comes down to like the MLB ownership, like as a group, as an organization, should be better about. I'm not saying they should split everything 50 or 30 ways and like the same amount and stuff, but there could be a tier system of like, hey, your team is doing well and you're selling out tickets and stuff. Like, it should be based on performance and attendance to like, and if to what am I? Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm so fed up about this.
It's complicated and it's annoying.
Yeah. There's just got to be a
happening behind closed doors.
Yeah. There's got to be a way to like reward teams for first off being good and second off putting butts in seats. There's got to be some sort of formula that we can work out to be like, okay,
well, it's not a baseball city. No one shows up, even if we have a good product.
Then sell the team.
Yeah.
Like, if the Rockies aren't making any money in Denver, send them to Vegas, where they'll probably like Vegas is just chomping at the bit for a team. Salt Lake City's chomping at the bit for a team. Nashville's chomping at the bit. Like, if it's not working, like I don't know. We are going to have just so much time to talk about this.
Oh, we're going to talk a lot about
it. And I encourage everybody to, including us, because all of our knowledge of this is pretty surface level right now. We have so much time to dive into it and get into it, and we can have conversations and try to figure this out as fans. And not that it's going to matter or like we're going to be able to be like, hey guys, don't worry, we figured it out. Like, it's not that.
Yeah, Tommy and Nick figured it out.
Don't worry, guys.
Together and sign the papers.
Yeah. Darren's mad at Tom Ricketts. Revenue versus payroll is valid, but one can't cry yearly revenue barely pays the bills when your franchise value grows by billions. Yes.
Not wrong. That's very
well,
true.
yeah, and
sit here and talk about it.
Yeah, and every owner in some way, shape, or form is kind of part of the problem. Like, for example, Tom Ricketts, it's like, yes, you have all the revenue, and for the most part, you're not using it to make a better baseball team. Like, companies, when they get revenue, do they just sit on it and do the same thing, or do they try to expand and get better and bigger? That's what the Dodgers did. They
reinvest.
Yes, that's what the Dodgers did, and they've won 2 World Series in a row. They reinvest in the product to make it better and to grow the system. So, and
they do that's quite a bit too.
And there are only 2, 3, 4 teams that you can honestly say restock, retool to make the product bigger and better year after year after year. And that's where the problem lies. If you own a team, you should be wanting to try to win championships. And it's very hard to win a championship. Don't get me wrong, but if you're just in it,
win championships either. Like, we can't blur those lines. Like, you can't look at the Mets. You can't just throw a bunch of money.
Right.
Say, we're going to win a championship because we did this. It's building a good baseball team like the Dodgers did.
Yeah. And the Mets are part of the reason that the owners are trying to get a salary cap too. It's like, yeah, you spend all this money, but you're not good at it. Like, it's going to be a mess. It's going to be a mess, everybody, but definitely read about it, learn about it. Try to, if we're all at an understanding of what's going on, we're going to be able to have better conversations about it. But this is just night 1.
I hope we have baseball, Tommy. I hope we have baseball in 2027.
Yeah.
I'm not ready to think that we're not going to have it.
You have my word right now. If we do not have baseball in 2020, we don't have real baseball in 2027, I will be streaming MLB The Show on a nightly basis.
Oh, look at you. I like that.
We are going to have baseball to watch.
We will do tournaments.
We'll do tournaments. I will play the Cubs schedule just night by night if we got to do it. We here at On Tap Sports, we're going to have baseball, whether it is the Chicago Cubs or the virtual Cubs, we are going to have baseball.
I like that. I like that a lot.
Anyways, everybody read up on this, learn about it. We're going to probably have a little bit of talk about it for the most part, most of these shows going forward, because it is something that we're going to talk about. There also may be something cooking about baseball in general here at On Tap Sports. So, just keep an eye out.
Keep your eye out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways, we got 3 coming up against the Cardinals in St. Louis this weekend. And then we will come back to Wrigley next week. So thank you, everybody, for tuning in. I wish Tyler were here to tell us about St. Louis.
Oh, man. I got to do justice for Tyler now, right?
Yeah. So like and subscribe. If you're watching this right now, please hit the like button on the stream. That would help us tremendously. And make sure that you subscribe to On Tap Sports. And then if you're watching this on the Twitters, just go over to the YouTube right quick and do that. That would be awesome for us, and we were super appreciate it. So,
use your code.
Yeah, use the code at obviousshirts.com. Thank you, everybody, for listening. And Nick, by all means, send us home.
There's a team that we here at On Tap hate more than anything, relevant or not. It's not the Brewers. We hate them. Hate them very much. It's not the Reds. We hate them too. It's not the Pirates, which we just took care of business tonight. It is those awful, stinking, I don't even want to say the name, but Cardinals. I'm allergic to the St. Louis Cardinals. So therefore, I will be getting a lot of boxes of tissues this weekend to watch this series. They're going to need a lot too, because they're going to be crying. We're going to sweep their asses. I'm calling it right here. Sweeping their asses. The vibes are going back high. fuck the Cardinals.
F the Cardinals. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We will see you Sunday.